Well, a decision by Basketball Australia to deny an application from a transgender athlete to join the Women's Semi-Professional League is under scrutiny this morning, sparking fresh discussion about inclusivity in the sport. Saray Taylor is a former NBL 1 player and she joins us now from Melbourne to discuss. Saray, good morning to you. Thanks for being with us this morning. Appreciate it. Look, Andrew Gaze said earlier on the program it's the right decision. What do you think?
I think it's a really difficult decision and it's a complicated one. But ultimately, if we are trying to create a space and a community that accepts everyone and gives everyone the right to feel safe, a really important step is letting people play sport.
It's not exactly a common occurrence, all of this, as Andrew Gaze pointed out, but how do you think other top female athletes feel about it?
I know I felt deeply saddened when I heard the decision. I felt sad not just for Lexi Rogers, but for every little kid who's already moving through a world that isn't a necessarily safe place for them. The decision by Basketball Australia has really reiterated that lack of safety and lack of belonging. Every other athlete that I've spoken to has been disappointed, but unfortunately not surprised. I think as soon as Basketball Australia took over from Basketball Victoria, because there were powerful people churning up disgust and fear on the internet, and which was then picked up by the media, we suspected what the outcome of the decision would be.
I guess it depends on the sport as well, but as far as you're concerned, you don't have a problem playing against someone who may have physical advantages. You have no problem playing against a transgender athlete?
I think basketball and pretty much any sport, especially in women's sport, there is a huge array of body types. There's a huge array of heights and sizes. Abby Kabilo is 5'4" in the WNBL. She's played against Liz Cambage, who's 5'9". I think as soon as we only start to have an issue with disparity in heights and weights when it's a transgender woman involved, really illustrates how transphobic we are. Okay,
just quickly, Basketball Australia says they're going to assess it by a case-by-case basis. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but do you agree with that?
I agree that with you that it's a pretty vague statement, and I think it's dangerous to say case by case because I think it lets somebody like Andrew Bogut, who is an incredible athlete and is now a celebrity, but has chosen to not make his fight about something like domestic violence, which kills one woman every week in Australia, but to exclude kids and adults from sport. So I think if there's no public framework for what case by case actually means, it creates a lack of accountability, and then that accountability leads to discrimination through regulations that aren't necessarily monitored.